Welcome to our simple guide to dealing with property when a joint proprietor dies. A joint proprietor is a person who owned a property jointly with someone else. We know that dealing with the property and affairs of someone who has died is not easy, and we are here to help you at this difficult time. We generally recommend seeking legal advice before making an application to us, but if you want to note the death of a joint proprietor yourself, this video guide will help you. First, what is a joint proprietor? A joint proprietor is a person who owned a property together with one or more other people. If the deceased was the sole owner of the property, this video won't help you. We would suggest that you watch our companion video, What to do when the sole owner of a property dies, instead. In this video, we will assume the deceased's property or land is registered with us. If it's not registered, head to our website gov.uk for more information about what to do. Simply type Register Land into your browser. When you're looking for HM Land Registry information, always make sure you're on gov.uk. When a person dies, how you update the property records depends on whether they were the sole owner of the property or the joint owner with someone else. So the first thing to do is find out if the deceased was the sole or joint owner of the property. If you don't know or you're not sure, check the title register of the property. Entry 1 of Part B, the Proprietorship Register, shows who owns the property and whether there's a sole owner or more than one. If you don't have the property title register, you can download a copy from gov.uk. Type Search for Land and Property into your browser. You can search using the property's postcode, or scroll down the page to search by street and town, map or title number. View or download the property summary, which is free, to find the property title number. Or, to find out who owns the property, create an account and, for a small fee, buy a copy of the title register. If the person who died was a joint owner with someone who is still alive, you should register the death with us using the form DJP. You can download any of our forms, including Form DJP, from our website gov.uk. Simply type DJP into your browser. If you're ready to start, let's fill it in. Just before we do, a quick tip. Please use black ink and block capitals to fill in the form. In Panel 1, write down the local authority which serves the property in your application. This will be the county, borough, the unitary authority, the district council, or the London Borough, that to which council tax for the property is payable. In Panel 2, write down the title number or numbers of the property. When we register property, we give it a unique HM Land Registry reference number. This is the property title number, and it's shown at the top of the first page of the title register and also on the title plan. If the land or property is not registered, it will not have a title number. But if it is registered with us, you'll find the property title number at the top of the title register or plan. If you don't have the title documents, the quickest and cheapest way to obtain them is to view or download a copy using our Search for Land and Property Information service available on gov.uk. In your browser, type Search for Land and Property Information and follow the on-screen instructions. The property summary is free, while a small fee is payable for each copy of the register and title plan. And you will need an email address and a debit or credit card to use this service. In Panel 3, enter the full address of the property, including the postcode. If it is a piece of land and doesn't have a postcode, give a brief description. For example, land adjoining 2 High Street, Peterborough, or land to the west of Wickham Lane, Swaffham. Panel 4 is where you confirm what evidence you are sending us in support of your application. If you are sending us a copy of the deceased's death certificate, you will need to put an X in the first box for option A. Alternatively, if you are sending us a copy of the grant of probate or letters of administration, you will need to put an X in the second box for option B. The third box, or option C, is only used when a conveyancer is acting on your behalf. In panel 5, enter the name of each person who is applying to change the register. Panel 6 must always be completed by the person sending the application to HM Land Registry. Let's assume that's you. Give the full name and address of the person sending us the application. That's your name and address, including a phone number if possible. The address you give us is the one we will use if we need to contact you, and to which we will return any documents we need to send back to you. If you provide an email address, we will use this to correspond with you. If you are not a registered proprietor, we may have to write and notify the owners of your application. In panel 7, complete options A and C. Put an X against option A and insert your name. Insert the name of the deceased and the date and place of their death in part C. In panel 8, you are certifying that the deceased is the person shown in the property's title number. Complete this panel by entering the name of the person who has died. In panel 9, the applicants must all sign and date the form. That's each person listed in panel 5. And that's it. Please send only certified true copies of documents. Once we have made a copy of the documents you send to us, we destroy them, so please don't send us the originals. To certify that a copy of a document is a true copy of the original, the person making the application should write, "I certify this to be a true copy of the original, dated, signed, name printed, address and date on the face of the copied document, like the examples shown on screen." Before you send us your application, check that you've completed all relevant panels of the Form DJP and that you've enclosed all the documents and evidence we need to change the register. If you're unsure about any aspect of the application you're making, consider seeking legal advice. If you're lodging an application yourself, send us your completed Form DJP along with a copy of the death certificate, probate or letters of administration to HM Land Registry, Citizen Centre, at our standard address for applications. Type HMLR address into your browser. A few more tips before we go. Please make sure documents are clear and legible. Provide a translation into English or Welsh if you are submitting foreign documents. And, if you're not sure about anything, seek advice from a legal professional. We hope you have found this information helpful. You'll find more guidance about updating property records when someone dies on our website, gov.uk. For more videos on a variety of land registration topics, subscribe to our YouTube playlist, Public Guidance. You will also find information and guidance on a variety of topics on our customer training hub on gov.uk. Search HMLR Training.